The WWE has been sued by a former writer in alleged racial discrimination. So, yes, WWE, Worldwide Entertainment, the fake wrestling is, of course, fake, and they have writers to write storylines. And one of the writers has sued, saying there's a racial discrimination problem. So, discrimination in the workplace. The former WWE writer has filed a lawsuit claiming racial discrimination in a hostile work environment. Brittany Abrams, who is a Black woman, said she was fired last year in retaliation for pushing back against racism and racist and stereotypical pitches in the writing room. So she says that the writers were writing racist lines, which gets into all kinds of interesting territory when it comes to First Amendment speech, right? So if the nature of her complaint is that the writers were writing racist lines or racist tropes, if that's the nature of her claim, then I don't think she has one. Not inherently, or it could at least get interesting because, of course, there's an inherent First Amendment interest in writing. If you want to write racist or stereotypical stuff, right, there's a First Amendment interest in that. So that probably in and of itself can't be a hostile work environment, but maybe there's more behind it. The complaint, of course, lists the WWE itself, plus 5 backstage company employees and the executive Vince McMahon and Stephanie McMahon. In the suit, she alleges that during the WWE employment, several writers made racist pitches, one of which include the idea of a backstory for a Saudi Arabian-born wrestler having secretly orchestrated the attacks of September 11th. If your complaint is the writing in the writing room, I don't think you're going to win. Also, according to the suit, Abrams claimed the writer continually planned racist and stereotypical jargon. She claims there's a push for a Nigerian-born wrestler to speak with an over-the-top Nigerian accent, and there was an idea to rebrand a white wrestler as a hunter who hunted down and imprisoned other wrestlers, primarily one apparently who's Black. So yeah, I mean, if what your complaint is the writing room and the writing and the script writing, yeah, I don't think a hostile work environment is going to do the trick. I don't think that's going to do the trick. If the people want to write these lines, there's a First Amendment interest in writing the line. Abrams alleges that she and another Black writer were discriminated against because of criticisms on the line. So that might be more on point. Abrams claims she was fired by WWE because she took home a commemorative chair from WrestleMania, even though it was open practice, and she witnessed white employees doing it without punishment. So she might have taken something she didn't have a right to take, but maybe other people were doing the same thing. So maybe them punishing her and not them is evidence of racism, perhaps. In the years prior to making her complaint, the WWE did not subject employee to disciplinary action in response to taking a removable temporary seating from the WrestleMania events. So maybe there's some sort of unequal treatment in that respect. The WWE, of course, did not respond to requests for comments. Abrams is asking the court for declaratory judgment that they violate New York laws, an injunction, and other remedies. Thus, that brings us to the end of the story of the WWE writer who's suing for racism in the workplace. But her nature of her claims seem like they are problematic. She seems like she's unhappy with what people were writing in the writing room, and that, of course, goes to a fundamental First Amendment interest. But she also says that there was discrimination in how she was treated based on her objections. For example, being fired because she took a chair that she wasn't allowed to take, even though other employees also took chairs in the exact same way. And only she was fired. So maybe there's some inequality there in that respect. So we'll have to tease that out a little bit more in details, but her claims do seem a little bit suspect because they go to this First Amendment interest. But at least for the moment, that brings us to end discussion of this story.